Oh yes, it is episode 5 of Live from the Jam Jar on AiDU TV. Yeah, 5 weeks. And we're going strong, bringing you live music, spoken word, interviews, and much more. I mean, every week we have been completely blown away by the talent that has been coming through our doors. And once again, we are in for some serious treats this week. So forget your to-do list, make yourself a cuppa, pour yourself a drink, and get settled in. And let us bring the live vibe direct and personal to your living rooms. If you've watched us before, you will know that we are a completely not-for-profit platform, which we've set up to promote the arts when they need it the most, and man, do they need it right now. There are so many artists out there struggling to make ends meet, which is why we are asking for donations. Not only for the artists on today's show and the production team, but also for 4 beneficiaries who are just working tirelessly to support the arts in the UK and across the globe. There will be a short film right at the end of today's show telling you about 2 of those charities. You can also find out more on our website, which is where you will find the donate button. But now it is time for our first live act performer, who is waiting just the other side of this wall with Lal. We saw a glimpse of him in episode 1, and judging by the comments that came in after the show, he definitely stole a heart or 2. I'll let Lal have the honour of introducing him to you. Lal, are you out there?
Thanks, Polly. I think I can hear you. Maybe I should stick my finger in my ear like they do on sports commentating. Now, they say that music is the food of love, but that's not true because that's chips. Right now, out of the Jam Jar in Bristol, Ichi!
Ramai.
This song is about animals. this song is about a big mosquito. This is my last song. This song is about my favorite Chinese restaurant in Japan. Thank you very much.
Ichi. Absolutely amazing. Do you want to pick up your mic? What do you think of that, people? Absolutely amazing. One thing I was standing there watching. I worked in the music industry for 20 years, and I've never seen anything that amazing in my entire life. At what point do you wake up and go, I'm going to get some stilts, I'm going to put a bass guitar attached to it with a mic and a trumpet? How did it begin for you?
In the beginning, I started to play xylophone.
Yeah.
And then after that, I played trumpet. And then, it used to be I play. I'm bass player.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So you started off. You were not a normal musician.
Yeah.
Not a normal musician, but like you started off playing normal instruments.
Okay.
So how long ago did you become Ichi, doing the music that you do now?
Maybe about 15, more than 15 years.
That wasn't me, by the way. Just so the audience at home. And so as I said, like it is absolutely amazing. I've never seen someone bring out a typewriter and turn it into a musical instrument. Do you spend a lot of time just developing these ideas, or?
Yeah, almost. I play in a house with kids, my sons, and then sometimes idea comes up when I play lots of instruments and make sound. Yeah.
Amazing. And you have the idea for the song first, and then you build the instruments around it, or does it? So you start writing something, and then like the mosquito song? Was it like I heard a mosquito and then wrote a song about it, or?
I like the mosquito sound. It's no. Actually, I hate.
You hate the mosquito.
Mosquito sound, but I could make that sound. So
right.
You know.
So, and if anyone wants to get in touch with you, if they want to find out more about your music, I think we're going to put this at the bottom here. But if they want to discover you, and I think everyone should, and am I right? I think I'm right, aren't I? How would they get in touch? Social media? You got a website?
I have Facebook and Twitter. Yeah.
And that's where we can get you. Well, It's been an absolute delight. As I said, 20 years in this music industry, and I've never seen anything like that. Absolutely amazing. Back to you, Polly.
Oh, my days. Thank you, Lau. And Ichi. Oh, my life. That was extraordinary. I mean, what kind of crazy genius was that? I am completely blown away, and no other one-man band is ever going to top it for me. That's it. I am in love. So if you're inspired to make noises or hang out with that lovely man, you can follow him on Facebook, as he said, Ichi Music. Go there, find out all about what he's up to and be inspired. So ready on the stage, now is our next treat of a spoken word performer this evening. She is the one and only big-hearted word wizard, Beth Calverley. I'm going to be catching up with her when she comes off stage and finding out a bit more about what makes her tick. But for now, I will let her rich tapestry of words speak for themselves. It's Beth Calverley.
This is a poem about facing my fears, and it's called Cliff Tops. We have arrived. Heartbeats woken by the climb, coastlines in your smile, below the sleep of shingle, fisherman's patience, waves dreaming of dancing. You say you'll show me how it's done, kiss me and jump, and all of a sudden I have been here before. Live anxiety climbs my spine, its deft feet dig waves from a distant brain. Last time I came to Swanage was a trip to the coast with school, a clatter of classmates, freed for the week from lesson plans and second hands. It rushes back to me, cold as the slap of sea, hands damp with panic, breath wet with attack, cliff-faced, crumbling. See there, easy outlines. Girls in H&M and giggles. Boys outgrown by their noses. To me, there were gods. grins full of evil. Safe on my cliff top, I feared them from afar. There, shallow splash flirting, fingers graffiti in sand carved, we were here. 2005, teenage Leggishide. I kept my watch. A lone rock pool left by their oceans. Snug in my niche. The shy girl who liked to read. Back then, life was the chink of light under the door and the book down come downs in grey dawns, wondering when did I shrink to the margins of my own story. Mine was a world of magic trees, rings, ships and ink, warm and dry within the lines of print. School was fruit instead of ice cream. Other kids were strawberries, all their pips on show. I was a lemon, all wax and rind outside, so unkind words slid off me at the time, but when I squeezed their meaning out of me, the taste was citrus. I shed their sugar for the pulp of my pride. I shed my sugar for the pulp of their pride and slowly lost my zest for life. This mouth turned uncertain. Terror tripped to my tongue when I talked like tongue tides in clumsy courtship of the shore. Instead, I clung to a voice inside, tones I know like the chug of my own blood. Keep still, my love, stay away from living, others do it better. Now back to the splash you make when you break your fall with my heart and come up laughing. Hours have slept since then. Your hair is barely wet. The moon's a post-it note from hope. I feel you feel me breathe again. Lips stretch their coastline. The mocking black. My sobbed intent. Your confidence. I push my past off the ledge and leap in pursuit. Body shocks with sense, claws for warmth, reaches for rock, up and out to your arms, calm pond. Below, breakers applaud, fishermen burst, my soul floods horizons. This is my cliff top, anxiety lonely as heaven, but I will not die like a wave, dreaming of dancing.
Thank you, everyone. Beth Calverley. Oh, Beth, thank you so much. I'm just going to come up and have a little chat with you, if that is okay. Thank you. Now, I know that you're not just the kind of poet that kind of sits down, writes something, and then someone's going to read it in the book. You're a real community poet. And I know that you've got something called the Poetry Machine. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Can you explain to us a little bit about what that is and how that came about?
Sure. So basically, I'm a live typewriter poet. So I go to all kinds of places, anywhere where there's people. So festivals, hospitals, schools, universities, parks, anywhere, with my poetry machine, which is like a wooden contraption with a bright yellow umbrella, and a typewriter and a bubble engine, and it's wheel along, and I speak to people, but mostly it's listening to them, just prompting them, and then I write them a poem on the typewriter live in the moment in a few minutes, based on what they've said, like a kind of poetic mirror, and I then gift it to them. And it's kind of a way of showing them that they've been heard and recognised through poetry.
And poetry's got this incredible ability to take a feeling or what could just be a jumble of words into a better jumble of words that actually makes so much sense of things. And do you find that reflection back really helps people kind of figure out what they're feeling?
Totally right. And I think also something about poetry being a bit like a jumper, that you can, once it's knitted, you can then put it on when you need to, but you can take it off again. And it's like get some way of externalising an experience which you can still feel when you want, but you don't have to carry it and hold it within you so much, whether that's like extreme joy, a memory you want to keep and remember, or something really sad, for example.
So it can be like a kind of photograph in words that you can kind of pull out your pocket.
Yeah, but like an experience in that way, because words live and breathe, you know, so.
Yeah, and I know that you've been doing work with the NHS, like before lockdown happened. What were you doing with them then, and how has that kind of changed now?
Yeah, so I'm really honoured to be the poet in residence at South Bristol Community Hospital and the Trust as a whole, which covers 10 different hospitals.
So what does a poet in residence do?
So in my case, what I do is I go to patients in their rooms, you know, by their beds with my typewriter on like a medical trolley. And so they aren't expecting it. They just hear the rattle of the trolley and they might think it's going to be, you know, squash or pills or something.
Yeah,
and
but
I'm there with my
you.
typewriter.
Oh, how amazing.
And then I write them a poem, and I work with carers and staff as well, because obviously at the moment, tough time for staff. But and because of lockdown, there's been a restriction on visitors, but I've been writing poems from afar, so like phone calls with staff, and also I've written a few poems for different causes, like the intensive care unit asked me to write a poem, which I did, called Thread, and it connects the patients in intensive care with their loved ones who can't visit them at the moment.
My goodness.
And so the patient gets one and the relative gets one with like little knitted hearts.
Wow.
And yeah, it's kind of to show them that the staff are going to be there and they're not going to be alone.
Yeah, well, that is, what a gift. I mean, your poetry, therefore, is a true gift. I mean, all artists have a gift, but that you're really helping people to come together with their words. And like you say, to help people be heard is absolutely amazing. And I know that a lot of your work from the sort of research that I've done into you and found out about you is about this kind of giving people a sense of well-being and being understood. And I know that you've got a book coming out. Is that right?
Yeah, that's
Something
right.
to do with smiling.
Yeah, it's coming out in November this year with Verve Poetry Press. And it's called Brave Faces and Other Smiles. And each poem in the book is about a different kind of smile. So obviously happy smiles, like pure joy, like festival, for example, festival moments, but also like
only.
I know. Also, well, we're having a little taste of this.
Yeah, we are, aren't we?
But also like real moments of sort of despair, but putting on a brave face, or sadness, or embarrassment, or shy smiles. You know, there's all kind. When you think about it, there are all kinds of smiles, and that's really, there's so much incredible research into why we smile and how we connect through smiling. So
yeah, it's not always joy. We can be hiding behind a kind of like, yeah, no, I'm fine.
Exactly. Yeah. Yeah.
So because you're so sort of into this idea of smiling, I thought it would be, and I did talk to you a little bit about this earlier, so I've slightly prepped you. It'd be really interesting to know what makes Beth Calverley happy. What would be 3 things that would make you happy, that bring you happiness?
Yeah, well, it's quite simple, really. I guess my friends, my family, and my poetry. Before I did poetry full time, things were a lot more certain, but I wasn't happy. And when I made the decision to just focus on it completely, things changed. So, and I think not expecting to have pure happiness all the time also helps, you know.
Yes, exactly.
And also happiness is a daily rhythm, a daily exercise of doing things each day, you know, brushing your teeth, making the bed, getting some fresh air, you know, moving. It's kind of something that you have to do every single day.
You've got to work at it. You've got to work at it.
Yeah.
Well, Beth, thank you so much for coming in to us today. Now, if people want to find out more about what you are up to, how can they find you?
Well, they can go to my website, which is www.thepoetrymachine.live, or they can go and find me on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, which is @poetrymachine.
Brilliant. You are all over the place. Thank you, Beth, so much for coming in. So while our next act get themselves settled amongst the jam jars, which I'm very, very excited about, we are going to take you over for a virtual treat from none other than the Beatbox Collective. Now, I absolutely love these guys. They came together for the first time at Shambhala in 2011, or was it 2012? I may well stand corrected. And since then, they have gone on to become world beatbox champions. And you will see why as they perform their hip-hop medley, Cuts and Classics. See how many hip-hop references you can hear in there. Here they are, it's the Beatbox Collective.
And now it's time to take it back to the roots. That's the sounds of the beast. That's the sounds of the police. That's the sounds of the beats. That's the sounds of TBC.
Witness the fitness, the prophets that liveth. One hope, one quest. Oh, come on! Oh, come on!
Do you really want to party with TBC?
Oh, come on! You mix it up, go!
Big L, 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 rest in peace. Do you wanna mess with this? Gangstar, one of the best yet.
Serial killers, yeah. Serial killers. Got the yearning, got the earning, but the earning herb. Yeah. Rock me, stop, rock me, from the bomb.
Now throw your hands in the motherfucking air and wait the motherfuckers like you just don't care. Yeah.
My slow flow's remarkable. Biggie, kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. All the hoes, Papa, don't hit me no more. Kick in the door, wave in the 4-4. All the hoes, Papa, don't hit me no more.
It's been a long time for me to step to. Without a dope beat to step to, step to, step to, step to, step to. Stand up. When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
When I move, you move.
Just like that.
Hell yeah, hey DJ, ring.
Hey, baby, I got your money, don't you worry. I say, hey, baby, I'll be on the room.
What you want to do for love? You tried everything, but you don't give up.
Guess who's back?
Ooh la la la, whether we rock when we're doing our thing. Ooh la la la, it's the natural break that we. Watch out now. Get money, get money. Get money, get money.
Just like music.
Just like. You're now listening to the Beatbox Collective. Get the fuck up. Simon says, get the fuck up. Throw your hands in the sky. Groupies in the back, sipping yak. Yeah, what's up? Yeah. Girls, rub on your. The hip to the hip hop, you don't stop. Rock it to the bang bang, bring it to jump, boogie to the rhythm, to the boogie the beat. So what you hear is not a test, it's a sound to the TBC. Everybody now, you better make some noise and get the fuck up out your seat.
Who you trying to get crazy with? Let's say, don't you know I'm loco?
To the one on the flam, boy, it's
nowadays, everybody wanna talk, they got something to say, but nothing comes out when they move their lips, just a bunch of gibberish. So my that, and if it got a bad drink.
Records. We are the Beatbox Collective, the world beatbox champions. Okay. 1, 2, 3. It's bigger than here. Ha, here, ha, here, ha, here. It's bigger than here. Ha, here, ha, here, ha, here. It's bigger than. One thing about music, when it hits, you feel no pain.
I know you gonna dig this.
Yeah, boy.
Yes, the Beatbox Collective. How do they do that? I mean, how many references was that? I got maybe 18, but I am no hip-hop expert. So these guys are busy bees. They've done a TED Talk, which is well worth checking out. They've got a 5-star Edinburgh Fringe show. And if you are a budding beatboxer, or if you haven't got a clue and fancy finding out how on earth they make those insane noises, they are offering online workshops on their website where they can teach you all the tricks of the trade. So check it out. It's thebeatboxcollective.com. Thank you so much, guys. Right, I believe our next band is assembled and ready to go. I'm super excited about these guys, so I will hand you back to Lal to introduce you. Lal.
The Beatbox Collective being absolutely amazing as usual. Now we're back in the Jam Chart here in Bristol. Snazzback featuring Sauce.
Into the back cave, right there's the map mate. And the bad taste of rap rage, the lap face. Even when I start from the back lane, down my lap reign supreme, burst in my trap veins. Halfway home, can't give up yet. I'm ready for the beer, feel like I'm a drop dead in a minute. Yeah, my head's still in it, but my body see an arm, and you make your limit, except it's finished. Every step is a mental image, I never perfect a lyric. It's all just lessons in it, and I know I never learned to never bother to check my critics. My light head floating from my neck like a hot air balloon into the sky set. I digest straight from the knife edge, right checks to the guy with 9 heads. Decline stress when I find the mic. Yes, nice guess. First try might surprise yet. Supplied the bite shed regurgitated virus. A bright mess to seem to find flesh. Said stop with the crazy talk, but I missed my last stop on this train of thought. Forsaken Lord, 7 steps to heaven, yet it may be more. just as I'm shitty. If you got them weak rhymes, you're not receiving my pity. It's quite sickly when digesting the rhymes. You see ahead of the time, from behind what's being said at the time. Envious guys, heads left on the spike. Metaphorically, historically, second guessing is fine. But everything I kinda did the section of life. Barely receive a penny for dime, so regression is nice. So we gotta keep at it like a fiend addict when the beast bangers beats up until I keep tactics. No need to appease masses, we reach those who seek to receive standards. Easy achieve madness, frequently with gladness, depending on the season. See, in the summertime it's best to leave it be. No winter time, he's a freak feed the need. See, recently the flows are indifferent, not the mention deliverance and the levels of skillmanship. Really the calmness, yeah, that's a definite. The messenger, destroy the proof and the evidence. That is relevant to the minorities. Rhyme on the beat, honestly, try stopping me. The system rise to the price of a nice property. The only equals I see a side of a nice isosceles. The benchmark, killing marks on the bench. Too ill for sales, like a carcinogen. Told me coming to reality, no way. In my own world, and it's better than yours, mate. Yeah, branching out from my roots like pine trees. For the really ill rappers, I prescribe beats. Defeat the old to the ravens gate. I take mistakes, it's right and raise the stakes. Sacred raging, waved in a ravenous cell. You at snail's pace, willing to get out of your shell. And I ain't sending apologies, analysing the etymology of an anthology. I'm proposing the prophecy, so properly take a bomb at me as trophy. Let me jump and breathe before I rock a beat. Having dreams, I was not sleeping. I tried to catch my breath, but I stopped breathing. Tried to catch my breath, but I stopped breathing. Yeah, there's something in the water. There's a lizard in your chair. Something falling from the sky. So don't go breathing in the air. From all the creature comforts to the creatures in the dirt. Have you got any change, boss? Nah, spend it on the first. From the bottom of the pits they rose. From the quarry to the mist they froze. Staring at the Odyssey adrift. And not a body did flinch. Cut corners, got caught in the onslaught of conformers. Dawdling but dormant. Stalling to get forward. Stalling but absorbing. A hurricane howling, one-way traffic on the muzzle shake mountain, sullen rains drowning, 100 days and counting. He was claimed by the foulness, a nomad lost in no man's land by the cold hand clutch that surrounds him. Engulfed by the howling winds that were jousting. He looked up to the sky with a 10-ton heart and a river in his eyes. He was wishing he could pick up at the skies, but they never did it in his size. Knee-high puddle, sounds like a sea stride struggle. Inbound was a beast like rumble. We watched from the ground as the town did crumble. We watched from the mound as the town did crumble. They watched from the mound as the town did crumble. Of mystery and see the synergy of two different breeds. This indiscreet express liberty. Like the March of 63, you could have mirrored these. You can see the symmetry and the teeth individually. Left to freeze in the Pyrenees for the breeze and the voices of missionaries. Real vividly, my brain project imagery. Distorted vision, see idiosyncrasy. You gotta sink to see what we see up on the regs. In the party, but it's fucking weak. It's half free and I'm ducking sleep. Hear the heartbeat of my drum machine. I was tunneling my way through with a bucket and a spade too. Crumbling the straight boots, put up on my stained shoes. We don't wanna make do, nah, we don't wanna make do. Take to the high seas, rage of the mighty, rage of the night breeze. Raising the pipe dreams, we ain't waiting on sightseeing. Shipwrecked on the intrinsic island, misled from the synthetic light. Split flesh from the lips of the pinkest python. Now the silk beds of tribes. I found a neck up in my noose. The worst part was I just left it to snooze. I'm always dressed for the truth. The cynic in the room.
Yay! Absolutely amazing. I was sitting there and I think one of you mentioned it was that 20 minutes and I was like, I don't know, because I was just transfixed and just went away with the music. You guys obviously cancelled your UK tour sort of like towards the start of the year. Have you practiced with each other? Have you done anything with each other, or has it been you've been very much separate since lockdown?
We've scratched away at a few things over the last couple of weeks, but it's a very, it's been a very tentative sort of start to the getting back to normal, if there's ever will be such a thing.
I don't think there will be. We've spoken to so many bands since we started this project, and everyone has dealt with it a little bit differently. Obviously, you guys are quite well known on the festival scene. How did it feel to lose those sort of festival performances, especially Shambhala?
Well, I think, once we'd accepted that the new normal had arrived, we sort of explored lots of other realms of our lives, because obviously up until that point it'd been very, very intense, and it was only going to get more intense. So yeah. I think we just made sure that we could make the most of it, so that when we start playing again, we'd be in a really positive state of mind.
Now, you said before we started that you played the BBC introducing stage, repping, my other job, Latitude, and you arrived 20 minutes before your set. Let's talk about that. I could hear a little giggle from Chris coming out here. Whose fault was it?
Well, we had two cars, and the car that me and Chris and Rich were in, we realised that none of us, well, I haven't got a mobile phone, but these guys didn't have a smartphone, so we were kind of sort of a bit blind.
Retro, I like that, retro. Keep it
but actually, we got there before the other guys, and it was, once we got there, it was like...
Plug and play. Don't worry, I've been there.
It was absolutely incredible experience.
So let's try and get you some sort of PR. If you've got anything to tell us about what's coming on the horizon.
Well, obviously, we've got all the normal media portals, so you can check us all out with your Facebook, Instagram, And obviously we've got a website. We've got a YouTube channel as well,
Nice.
which we've got a new video which we released within the last week, which is worth checking out. And some other videos made around Bristol, so if anyone's from Bristol or hasn't been, they can see some of the local tourist attractions.
Local tourists. So helping out the economy from all different angles. Now, when you mentioned the Bristol thing, there is quite a quintessential Bristol sound to you guys. Is that something you were conscious of when you were playing? I could feel those rhythms from you, Chris, and sort of picking out those sort of, I don't know what it is, but it's like the feeling of Bristol. Was that something that you sort of picked up on when you started playing together?
Well, when we started playing together, we were on the streets, so we sort of got blown into the centre of town by the winds coming from all different directions. So there was bits of tumbleweeds and litter flying around as well, and plus lots of other people. So we're playing lots of busking gigs and connecting with lots of people. So it feels like we're a response to our local environment as such.
I think Bristol is a little bit like that. Everyone responds to the feel of the city. Anyways, I'm absolutely blown away by that. Snazzback, live at the Jam Jar. Back to you, Polly.
Thanks, Lal, and thank you, Snazzback. Oh, they just never disappoint. You never know where they're going to take you, but it is always sublime. That is the second week in a row where I have got my little private boogie on in a dark corner of the studio. Oh, I just can't wait till all these bands are back on the live circuit. In the meantime, we are just so glad to be able to support them and to share the love with you out there. Thank you to all the artists on tonight's show. If you've enjoyed watching and listening, please pop a penny in the jar and help keep the arts alive and kicking. We need creativity to stay alive. We're going to split any additional funds raised between 4 charities that are supporting the industry, as I mentioned earlier. We're going to play you out with a couple of mini films showcasing the work that a couple of those are doing. Thanks so much for tuning in. It's been a joy as ever. So much more coming up in our next show with exciting performances from Baraka, Mahinder Singh, we've got Disraeli. So clear the diary. This is where it's at. Big love, everyone. I'll see you next week.
In place of all at this point in time is our hope. It's basically the only hope we have.
But there it is in place of war, we're like, plow, there you go.
What has happened today, it's amazing. It's beyond my expectation.
Having a space where young people can go is key to their future.
People have amazing ideas and they are young and vivacious. I think it's crucial to have such spaces.
The purpose of this cause is just to equip the entrepreneurs and people who want to see change in their community to be the people that they want to be.
This whole collaboration was brought together by In Place of War. It's really important, it's really dope.
Life is really difficult for local artists, but In Place of War, they came through with the intention of spreading a good vibe through the name of music.
It matters. It's so massively important in the communities that we work in.
This has been the most amazing journey for me. So a big thank you, and I'm very happy.
Hear me with my freestyle flying high like a kite, only star in the sky.
Yeah. Africa will rise up.